They're the whispers in the night, the culprits behind your overturned trash cans. But are they truly villains of the night, or simply misunderstood mischief makers? Now, you might be thinking, raccoons? Aren't those just trash pandas with a penchant for chaos? And you wouldn't be entirely wrong. But there's more to these masked bandits than meets the eye. Those distinctive black masks aren't just for show, you know. They actually serve a very practical purpose. Just like how athletes wear black paint under their eyes to reduce glare, raccoons' masks help them see better in low light, perfect for their nocturnal escapades. And speaking of those nimble paws, did you know they're incredibly sensitive? In fact, their sense of touch is so highly developed, it rivals that of human primates. They use their dexterous digits to open jars, unlatch cages, and even turn doorknobs. These guys are the Houdinis of the animal world, masters of escape and deception. They're known to outsmart even the most seasoned homeowners, raiding gardens, kitchens, and even the occasional picnic basket with surprising stealth and cunning. Imagine a warm summer night. The stars are twinkling, the crickets are chirping, and you're fast asleep. Suddenly, a loud crash from your backyard jolts you awake. You peek out your window and see a masked bandit amidst the wreckage of your garbage cans. He pauses, looks you in the eye, and then continues his feast of discarded pizza crusts. That, my friends, is a typical night in the life of a raccoon. Now, you might think that all those chirps, squeaks, and chatters are just random noises, but you'd be wrong. Raccoons are surprisingly vocal creatures, with a complex system of communication that would rival any Shakespearean play. They use a combination of vocalizations, body language, and even scent marking to communicate with each other. A hiss might signal a warning, a purr a sign of contentment, and a shriek. Well, that's probably just Dave arguing with Brenda over the last bit of watermelon rind again. But their communication skills don't end there. Raccoons are also masters of deception, particularly when it comes to humans. They've been known to fake injuries, play dead, and even pretend to be friendly in order to get what they want. Don't let those big, innocent eyes fool you. They know exactly what they're doing. They're like furry little con artists, charming their way into our hearts and trash cans with their mischievous antics. And if you thought opening jars was impressive, get this. Raccoons have been known to use tools. That's right, these furry Einsteins aren't afraid to use a bit of ingenuity to get what they want. Whether it's a stick to reach a tasty morsel, a rock to smash open a shell, or even, and I'm not making this up, a discarded beer can to scoop water into their mouths, raccoons are masters of improvisation. They're like the Bear Grylls of the animal world, always finding resourceful ways to survive and thrive in even the most urban of jungles. But their intelligence goes beyond just tool use. Raccoons are incredibly adaptable creatures, able to learn and remember solutions to complex problems. Researchers have even found that they can remember how to solve certain puzzles for up to 3 years. So just how smart are raccoons? Well, they may not be building rockets or writing symphonies anytime soon, but they're certainly no dummies. In fact, some experts believe that raccoons are as intelligent as a 3-year-old human child. Now, before you go comparing your toddler to a trash panda, remember that intelligence is relative. Raccoons have evolved to be incredibly adept at navigating their environment, finding food, and avoiding predators. Their brains are wired for survival, and in that regard, they're incredibly successful. Their problem-solving skills, adaptability, and ability to learn and remember complex tasks are a testament to their remarkable intelligence. So, the next time you see a raccoon outsmarting a cat door or raiding your bird feeder, remember, you're witnessing the brilliance of nature's little bandit in action. But it's not just their intelligence that makes raccoons such successful survivors. They're also incredibly agile and athletic, able to climb, jump, and squeeze through spaces you wouldn't believe. They're like furry little ninjas, darting across rooftops, scaling fences, and disappearing into thin air. And good luck trying to keep them out of your garden. They can dig under fences, climb trees, and even pry open weakly secured gates with their nimble little paws. Remember those sensitive paws we talked about earlier? Well, they're not just for feeling their way around in the dark. Raccoons also use their paws to dig, climb, and even swim. Now you might be wondering, with all this talk of mischief and mayhem, are raccoons even capable of being friendly? Well, the answer, as with most things in life, is a resounding, it depends. In the wild, raccoons are generally solitary creatures, preferring to keep to themselves unless it's mating season, or they're having a good old-fashioned territorial dispute over a particularly delicious dumpster. They're not exactly known for their social graces, and their idea of a good time usually involves raiding your bird feeder, not sharing a cup of tea and biscuits. However, like most animals, raccoons can be socialized to a certain extent, especially if they're raised in captivity from a young age. There are countless stories of people who have befriended raccoons, even keeping them as pets. But before you run out and try to adopt a wild raccoon, there are a few things you should know. Firstly, and perhaps most importantly, raccoons are wild animals. No matter how cute and cuddly they may seem, they still possess those same wild instincts that make them such successful survivors in the first place. And those instincts don't always mesh well with domestic life. Remember those nimble paws and that knack for problem solving? Well, those same qualities that make raccoons so adept at raiding trash cans also make them expert escape artists and master destroyers of property. They can and will get into anything and everything, wreaking havoc on your home in the process. Imagine coming home to find your furniture shredded, your pantry ransacked, and your beloved houseplants dug up and scattered across the living room. That's the reality of living with a raccoon, even a well-intentioned one. Secondly, raccoons can carry a number of diseases that are harmful to humans, such as rabies, leptospirosis, and roundworm. While the risk of transmission can be minimized with proper vaccination and hygiene, it's still a risk that shouldn't be taken lightly. And let's not forget about those sharp little teeth and claws. While raccoons aren't naturally aggressive animals, they will defend themselves if they feel threatened. And believe me, you don't want to be on the receiving end of a raccoon's bite or scratch. So, while the idea of befriending a mischievous little bandit might seem appealing, it's important to remember that raccoons are best admired from a distance. They're fascinating creatures with a rich history and a unique place in our ecosystem. But they're not domesticated animals, and they're certainly not for everyone. A raccoon's night out. As the sun dips, our masked protagonist stirs from his slumber. He's been napping all day, dreaming of juicy grubs. With twilight, his tummy rumbles for the night's adventures. He stretches, yawns, and descends to the forest floor. Tonight, he visits the house with the overflowing compost bin. Whispers of sweet melon rinds and coffee grounds. A feast for a hungry bandit. With a mischievous glint, he sets off into the night. Urban explorers. Our furry friend is no stranger to the urban jungle. In fact, he rather prefers it to the wilds of the actual forest. For you see, where there are humans, there's bound to be an endless supply of easily accessible snacks. He navigates the maze of back alleys and gardens with the ease of a seasoned city dweller, his keen senses alert to every sight, sound, and smell. The aroma of freshly cut grass, the distant rumble of a car engine, the tempting scent of discarded takeaway wafting from a nearby bin. It's a symphony of urban delights. He pauses for a moment, sniffing the air thoughtfully. Ah, there it is. The unmistakable scent of ripe bananas and forgotten leftovers emanating from a nearby compost bin. His stomach growls appreciatively. This is going to be good. Nature's little Houdinis. Reaching the compost bin, our resourceful raccoon sizes up the situation. It's a sturdy bin, he'll give it that, but nothing a seasoned professional like himself can't handle. He tries pushing the lid with his nose, but it doesn't budge. Undeterred, he stands on his hind legs, reaching for the latch with his paws. He rattles it back and forth, his sharp mind working through the problem. He knows he's close, and then with a triumphant squeak, he manages to pry open the lid just enough to squeeze his way through. Victory! The spoils of war, or rather the spoils of compost, are his. He dives headfirst into the bin, emerging moments later with a triumphant grin, or at least that's what we imagine he's feeling, and a banana peel dangling from his mouth. With his belly full of compost delights, our furry friend decides to indulge in a bit of recreational activity. He scales a nearby fence with the agility of a seasoned parkour athlete, his claws finding purchase on the rough wood with ease. From his vantage point atop the fence, he surveys his domain. The world is his oyster, or at least this particular suburban backyard is. He spots a bird feeder dangling invitingly from a tree branch, a challenge he simply can't resist. He leaps from the fence onto the branch with the grace of a seasoned acrobat, landing with a soft thud. The birds, startled by his sudden appearance, scatter with panicked chirps. He eyes the bird feeder thoughtfully, already plotting his next move. It's going to be a long and mischievous night. Raccoons aren't just masters of the physical world. They hold a special place in folklore and mythology, inspiring tales of cunning and trickery. In twilight, the forest comes alive with nocturnal whispers. These creatures are woven into ancient traditions. From Native American tribes to Japan, raccoons have left their mark on human psyche. In many Native American cultures, the raccoon is revered as a trickster spirit, a mischievous entity known for its cunning, adaptability, and ability to outsmart even the most clever of adversaries. Just like the Norse god Loki or the Native American coyote, the raccoon is often portrayed as a boundary crosser, a creature that exists between worlds, blurring the lines between the physical and the spiritual. These trickster tales often serve as cautionary reminders about the importance of respecting nature, of understanding that humans are not the only sentient beings on this planet. The raccoon, with its human-like hands and knack for getting into mischief, reminds us to approach the world with a sense of humor, to expect the unexpected, and to always be prepared to be outsmarted by a creature far smaller and furrier than ourselves. Among the Algonquin people of the northeastern United States and Canada, the raccoon is known as Raccoon, a word that translates to "he scratches with his hands." The Algonquin have long recognized the raccoon's intelligence and dexterity, incorporating its image into their stories and ceremonies. In one Algonquin tale, the raccoon is said to have gained its distinctive black mask as a reward for its cleverness. The story goes that the raccoon was once a mischievous but well-meaning spirit who used his cunning to help humans in need. Impressed by the raccoon's kindness and intelligence, the Great Spirit gifted the raccoon with its mask, a symbol of its wisdom and ability to see through deception. This story highlights the importance of respecting the natural world and recognizing the intelligence and agency of all creatures, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant. But raccoon folklore isn't limited to North America. Across the Pacific, in the land of the rising sun, the raccoon dog holds a similarly prominent place in Japanese mythology. Known as tanuki in Japanese, the raccoon dog is a popular figure in Japanese folklore, often depicted as a mischievous shapeshifter with a penchant for sake and playing pranks on unsuspecting humans. Though not related, they do share a similar look. Tanuki are often associated with good fortune and prosperity, and their images can be found adorning temples, homes, and businesses throughout Japan. They're a reminder that even in the midst of life's challenges, there's always room for a bit of light-hearted fun and a healthy dose of mischief. From the forests of North America to the bustling streets of Tokyo, the raccoon continues to capture our imaginations, reminding us that the natural world is full of wonder, mystery, and a healthy dose of the unexpected. And now it's time for a shout-out from tester, evaluator, and grandpop at WiseHooterLearning to Zoe, Brooke, Frank, Bo, Haley, April, Ernestina, Amy, Trudy, Robbie, Shirley, Elizabeth, Carly, Ted, Cypher, Snowball, Terry, Nancy, Ellie, and of course Alec. A second shout-out to all the rest of our subscribers. Now you might be picturing these masked bandits lurking in the shadows of dark forests far from the hustle and bustle of human life. And while it's true that raccoons are perfectly at home in the wilderness, they've also developed a certain fondness for our humble abodes. You see, raccoons are incredibly adaptable creatures, capable of thriving in a wide range of habitats, from dense woodlands and marshes to suburban backyards and even bustling city parks. As long as there's access to food, water, and a cozy place to call home, a raccoon will find a way to make it work. They're particularly fond of areas near water like streams, ponds, and even swimming pools, much to the chagrin of pool owners who find their morning swim interrupted by a furry interloper. Water provides them with a source of drinking water, of course, but it also plays a crucial role in their grooming rituals. Speaking of food, let's talk about what fuels these nocturnal escapades. Now, you might think that raccoons are strictly carnivorous, judging by their penchant for raiding trash cans and gobbling up leftover pizza crusts. But in reality, raccoons are opportunistic omnivores, which is a fancy way of saying they'll eat pretty much anything they can get their little paws on. Their diet varies depending on the season and their location, but it generally consists of a smorgasbord of goodies, including fruits, nuts, berries, insects, frogs, fish, eggs, and yes, even the occasional discarded fast food wrapper. Their sensitive paws, those marvels of nature, come in handy for more than just opening jars and turning doorknobs. Raccoons use their nimble digits to feel around in water, mud, and leaf litter, searching for tasty morsels hidden from view. As the days grow shorter and the air turns crisp with the coming of autumn, our masked bandits turn their attention to matters of the heart, or at least matters of continuing the raccoon lineage. Mating season for raccoons typically occurs between January and March, and let's just say things can get a little, shall we say, competitive. Male raccoons, eager to impress the ladies, engage in elaborate courtship rituals that involve vocalizations, scent marking, and even the occasional playful tussle. Once a female has chosen her mate, she'll find a safe and secluded den, usually in a hollow tree, a rock crevice, or even an abandoned attic, to give birth to her litter of kits. Raccoon kits, typically 3 to 5 per litter, are born blind and helpless, relying entirely on their mother's care for survival. They're covered in soft grey fur, and their trademark black masks are already visible, even at this early stage. For the next few weeks, the mother raccoon will rarely leave her den, diligently nursing and caring for her vulnerable offspring. She'll fiercely defend her kits from any perceived threats, using her sharp teeth and claws to ward off predators and nosy humans alike. As the kits grow stronger and more independent, their playful nature begins to emerge. They'll tumble and wrestle with each other, honing their climbing and foraging skills under the watchful eye of their mother, who teaches them the tricks of the raccoon trade, how to open jars, raid bird feeders, and navigate the urban jungle with cunning and stealth. By the time summer rolls around, the young raccoons are ready to venture out on their own, their mischievous spirits fully formed and ready to paint the town red, or at least turn over a few more trash cans, as they embark on their own nocturnal adventures. So there you have it, the tale of the mischievous raccoon, a master of disguise and a champion of adaptability. But where did these masked bandits originate? What ancient lineage do they hail from? Journey back millions of years, to a time when giant sloths roamed the earth and saber-toothed cats ruled the night. The ancestors of our beloved trash pandas first emerged. These early relatives were small, weasel-like creatures, a far cry from the robust, hand-washing bandits we know today. But it was in North America, amidst the sprawling forests and bustling urban centers, that the raccoon as we know it truly flourished. Here, they've become masters of their domain, thriving alongside humans for better or for worse. So the next time you find your trash scattered across the lawn, or catch a glimpse of a masked bandit slinking through your garden, remember this: you're witnessing millions of years of evolution in action. These are creatures that have stood the test of time, adapting and thriving in a world constantly reshaped by human activity. They are a testament to the resilience of nature, a reminder that even in the most unexpected of places, life finds a way, and a snack or two. So here's to the raccoon, nature's little trickster, the masked marvel of adaptability. May their mischievous antics continue to entertain and amaze us for generations to come. And cut.
Thank you for watching a WiseHooterLearning video. If you would like a shout out at the end of a future video, please have your first name emailed to WiseHooterLearning@yahoo.com.